Yo, ladies and gents, welcome to the platform. We are out here at Cotton Fest in Newtown, and I've got the number one hustler in the country right next to me. Sbu, Sbu, how are you?
Hey, how you doing, my brother?
I'm good, man. You're like, I don't know, I know two Sbus who says that they're the number one hustler. You and Skinny Sbu, who's number one hustler between you and Skinny Sbu?
I don't think we compete. I think we are very, very far off from the people that run the world, the people that run our economy, the people that employ millions and millions of our people. I don't think we should be competing about cars. I don't think we should be competing about clothes, about who's got more money than the other, because as much as you can date a hot person, there's always a hotter person. As much as you can date a rich person, there's always a wealthier person. So you need to understand that the challenges that we're facing as South Africans are not about us competing with each other, but they're about us encouraging each other and helping each other up. Theo, Lekau, Skinny Sbu, Bulelani, there's just a lot of them. Robot Boy, they're all brothers that I look up to. But at the same time, I am very inspired by what they've achieved, although it's people that I've been mentoring for the past couple of years. So it's difficult for me to compete with my mentee, but I want him to win and I want him to overtake me, so yeah.
Yeah, and I only mentioned him because I was at his launch in Sandton that you hosted recently. I wanted to interview you, but I couldn't get hold of you. But I'm glad we're here today, at Cotton Fest. And shout out to Ricky Rick. I see you're wearing his t-shirt, man, How do you feel about, the concert and everything else?
I think this has been spoken about for many years, that when musicians pass on, the people that were a part of his clique or his team or people who cared about him, if they can come together and organize something after his passing so that that something can become an asset that happens annually and it can generate some sort of income for future educational expenses or whatever it might be for his children. So I really do think that Amachita, they've pulled off something amazing. They pulled off all the stops, bro. There's like sponsors, galore, there's like different dance floors. And what I'm loving with what's happening in South Africa, it's like the culture is evolving. It's a multiracial crowd, bro. There's like white people, there's Indians, obviously majority there's blacks, but I'm just happy that Ricky's legacy is just gonna keep on growing every year. This is only the first year.
Yeah. This is only the beginning. And since it's a business platform, I mean, you're the perfect person to speak to about this. I've been following you since I don't even remember, And the energy. I remember when Facebook started, 2009, 2008, you always used to say on, every day at like 5 a.m., the energy has always been there to say, hey guys, wake up, push a panda, let's go hustle. So tell me about your energy as a hustler, man. Like, how are you so consistent every day?
I think everybody just needs to have a vision. Everybody needs to have a goal. Everybody needs to have a burning desire. You need to know who you are. You need to know what you want. You need to know how to get to where you want to go, even though you don't have the resources, even if you don't have the money. But you just have to work on yourself so much so that your mind or your mindset or let me say your burning desire drives you so that you understand that when you conquer a certain mountain and when you get to the top of it, only then you realize there's actually even higher cliffs to still go and conquer. You must ask people who've summited mountains like the Kilimanjaro or the Mount Everest. You'll hear them when they relate anyone's life journey with the experiences that they've had to go through in terms of climbing mountains. So it's quite a journey, my brother, nobody arrives. We're all going through this journey of life to keep getting better, learning, becoming better people, and just understanding that when you fail, when you make mistakes, it's a teachable lesson. It's a lesson. Take your L and turn it into a lesson. Don't take your L or refuse to take your L and come with excuses and be embarrassed and be ashamed. Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. We fall, we take L's, but it's all about taking that L and removing the OSS and putting in the lesson. The ESSON. It has to be a lesson. As our elders have always shared that type of knowledge with us. That when you fail, it's a teachable lesson. So I really kind of believe that we've got a lot of potential as South Africans. We've got a lot of potential as young people out there. I think you guys are living in the best age ever. Our parents didn't live in the internet age. They didn't have Facebook, they didn't have email, they didn't have YouTube, they didn't have MailChimp, they didn't have Instagram, TikTok, you name them. Everything for us is just at a click of a button, you know? So you're living in the best times ever. And I think the messages that have been drummed into us because we've suffered and struggled for so many years, they've been so repetitive in our subconscious minds that we keep on passing on that type of narrative or message to our kids where it actually feels difficult, or it actually feels like nobody can achieve anything. But if we start drumming in messages that don't only talk about the past of us being victims, of us being slaves, of us being conquered, of our land being taken, although those are facts and that's the truth, and you need to know the history so you can understand who you are, so that you can have a clearer understanding as to where you're going. It is very imperative for you to rather focus on where you're going rather than where you're from. Because where you're from, you'll keep on dwelling on how you grew up poor, how things are difficult, how poor they are at home, and you're not aware that words are power. The more you keep on dwelling on the past, you're not aware that you keep on repeating the past verbally, and you know what happens. You're slowly manifesting it. That's why I'm not saying our problems are caused by that, but I'm just saying some of the little things that a lot of us have to learn, especially young people, is different things on how we can personally develop ourselves. Because solutions are not out there. Solutions are within. And once a person reads books, understands themselves better, goes on a journey of seeking, you know, their true lineage, their true family tree, as to where do they come from. Do you know when beyond your great-grandfather, your family tree? You probably don't. I probably also don't. But I'm going through that journey to learn that. If you can learn that and understand that and acknowledge the past, but start training yourself to rather focus on the future as opposed to always complaining about the past, because words build, words are power. And that's where our future resides.
Damn, you know, always learning from you. Now let's talk about your brands that you've built. Now I'm going to talk about MOFAYA, obviously. A brand that has been up and down. You know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the industry kind of like blackballed you for some years, but you came back strong. How is MOFAYA doing now, and you know, what can people look forward to?
I always say to people, don't check the high score when you're playing the match. Focus on the task at hand. Look at the ball. Don't look at the grandstand or the spectators. Even if they're cheering for you, even if you are leading 3-0, don't worry about the spectators, the score. Don't worry about how well you're doing. Focus on the ball, play the man. Focus on the ball, play the man. Focus on the ball, play the man. Every second, every minute, until that whistle goes, and then it's half time. You come back, you do the same thing. That's what I do with my life. I focus on my daily tasks, which then culminate into weekly tasks, monthly, etc. I don't worry about where I am or how well I'm doing, you know. I think I've already really been blessed to already be living and be turning 40, for me to be 42 years old, that's already a win. For me to be a father, it's already a win. For me, at the age of 42, to still have my mom's alive, that's a win. But for me to be told that I'm an inspiration by millions of people every day, wherever I go, is more than overwhelming. It starts making you understand that it's not about the wins, it's not about the material things, it's not about what you probably initially thought it was about. As you grow older, as you mature, as you become wiser, as you start learning through your journey, you get to understand that there's a long journey ahead, but everything is possible. So I'm not going to answer you and say how well Massive Metro is doing, how well I'm doing. The only answer I can give you on how well I'm doing is that I'm healthy, I'm breathing. I survived COVID-19. My daughter is great, my mom's doing well, the family is good, you know. And business, as black people, we've got a tendency of wanting to succeed now. And I understand why. You know, we grew up in poverty, we want it now, bro. But then again, you have to understand that there is a reason why most wealthy people are old. And I'm not saying it should be the same for the current generation. You guys have got the internet. You guys have got blockchain technology. You guys have got everything that it takes. You've got the social media. There's Web 3.0 that's currently being built. You guys don't have to hustle like we did. You guys don't have to work as hard as we did. Just work smarter. Use the internet and make your money. And while you're using the internet, use it while you are having a vision of a long-term type of a business that you're going to build. And the easiest business to build right now is YouTube. It's a YouTube channel. Because that's passive income. Every video you post, that's passive income. Even if you don't have a lot of subscribers in the beginning, you're not making much, it's gonna test you. Because building a YouTube channel is almost similar to building a proper physical business. Because you're gonna have to keep posting. You're gonna have to be disciplined in working on your quality, working on your lighting, working on the camera, working on understanding your audience, looking at other people's channels, what they're doing, focusing on your niche, working on what you know best that you can talk about on that channel on a consistent basis. Before MacGyver blew up, he almost gave up. And he'll tell that story himself one day, but I do know that story, and I'm humbled to have been privileged to have watched his journey and having been exposed to how difficult it was for him to be where he is. He's put in a lot of work. It's the same thing with life. Life requires you to put in work every day. Life requires you to look at your audience, to look at your camera, to look at that lighting, to listen to what your subscribers' comments are, to be centered with who you are and be comfortable and content with yourself, so much so that when those comments are criticizing you and they're negative, you still have to smile. You still have to deliver. You still have to remember that those are the people that are going to pay your bills, even if they're criticizing you. The fact that they're on the comments means they've given you more than 3 seconds. And more than 3 seconds on YouTube, that's already a view. So it's all about, it's similar analogies. And one of them is YouTube, another one is TikTok. TikTok's algorithms are unlike YouTube, they're unlike any other social media, they're unlike Instagram, they're unlike Facebook, they're unlike Twitter. They don't care whether you're a celebrity. Bite-sized micro 7 seconds content, or less than 10 seconds, or maybe less than 20 seconds, consistently on a certain niche that you're good at, and you do every day those types of videos, doesn't matter even if you're not famous. It's very easy on TikTok to accumulate 1 million followers in just less than a year. I've seen people do that. They do that every day. And then they either become influencers or they evolve into learning the TikTok creators program on how they can get paid using TikTok. You can make money on starting an online store, Shopify. You can make money on takealot.com, affiliate marketing. You can make money on Amazon FBA. You can make money on AliExpress. You can make money on trading. I know some people have scammed people and they've given forex trading a bad name, but it's because they knew better and they manipulated the knowledge that they know to go and scam other people, just like fake pastors do. But it doesn't mean that forex trading is a bad thing. It's the same thing with cryptocurrencies. We have to learn it, we have to understand it. But young people right now, your hustle is online. Forget about working harder in the streets. Forget about knocking on doors, being difficult. Just focus on that internet. So find a way to get unlimited data every month that you can afford or your parents can afford, or find a way to sacrifice some of the nice things every month and rather pay for that Wi-Fi and then hustle online smarter.
Last question on business, and thank you for giving us, such dope insights. What is, like, simply put, why should black people invest in cryptocurrency and Bitcoins? Because I know you're very big on that.
Yes, I think for me it's knowledge. For me it's all about education and knowledge. Right now I'm applying myself to learn politics. Just like I applied myself when I was evolving from the music industry in 2013 to get into business. People were laughing at me, like, what does this DJ know about business? Why is he walking into the boardroom? Can't he just sing for us? Why don't you just DJ for us? They used to make fun of me. But today people see me more as a businessman than a musician. And that's hardly in just 7 years. So it's pretty much the same thing, applying yourself, being consistent, and just telling yourself that, you know what, it's gonna be a long journey. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be lonely. I might fail a lot. I might lose a lot of battles, but I have to win the war, because the war is bigger than us. It's bigger than me and you. It's bigger than Joburg. You know what we've been going through. I think we've been locked down. You were forced to go learn some certain information, and a lot of things that you learned during the lockdown started shocking you, and you started understanding that the world is not what you've always thought it was. So what does that do? You gotta do something about it. You gotta modify your hustle. You gotta find ways or other ways on how you can still make an impact, but understanding that you're as much as you're not in control, but you are in control. You're in control of yourself, and that your solutions are not out there. They're in here. They're in here.